Thank you very much. It's a great opportunity for me. I'll try to be brief, but of course it's for Wall Street today is a very strange day because you have the two aging societies. One beginning this morning, the other one Japan at the closing of your day. So I will be here trying to explain that Italy is a young country, young, trustable country. And of course, I'm here also to present you some ideas for the future of the country. First of all, we are trying to continue on the path of the fiscal consolidation. Italy's big debt, of course, is a big problem for us. We know very well, but is a manageable problem. I think you can easily check with the figures. We have a big debt, but the debt didn't raise so much in the period of the crisis, and the debt is a manageable one today. Why? Because we decided to continue in the fiscal consolidation. Today we have a deficit rate that is around 3%, and this 3% brings Italy among the virtuous countries in Europe. That is for us, we are proud of it because it's very important for us to continue to be virtuous, and we will continue to take to maintain the engagements with the European Union on the deficit and also on the primary surplus. Italy is around 2.5. That is important for us, and we will continue on that. So we think to have a manageable situation for what is linked to the fiscal consolidation path. Of course, the main problem of Italy is the lack of growth, and we know very well that is the main problem of the country, lack of growth and the rise of the unemployment. First of all, the youth unemployment. That is, for me personally and for my government, the true nightmare of the country, because we had in this 5 years crisis the youth unemployment raising until the 40%. That is the true nightmare for the country. This is why many young, very high-skilled Italians come to New York and to the States. Of course, we are very happy of that, but we would like to give them also opportunity to stay in Italy and to have opportunity to work in Italy. So, growth, how to have the recovery, how to continue this process. We decided to have in these 4.5 months of work of my government to have three main initiatives for pushing growth. The first one is a decision taken with the Monti's government to pay the debt of the public administrations to the small, medium-sized enterprises and to all the private companies in Italy. That is around 50 billion euros, 30 billion euros in the year 2013, and we already paid on this 11 today, yesterday, and the rest, the 19 remaining will be paid until December, and 20 more billion euros next year. That will bring, of course, that will push, and that will give a lot of push to the economy, to the system, and I am very confident of the consequence of that. The second one will be a big, important incentive for what is linked to youth, to the fight against youth unemployment. That is the crucial problem I raise. Is a specific problem, but is a symbolic problem. Is a way to give hope to the country. This is why we decided to have an extraordinary 18 months of big incentive with a big decreasing of the labor taxes cost for youth employment. This extraordinary incentive started from August, and we are confident of the consequences, of course, of this big incentive. Third one is an extraordinary 12 months of incentives for the house market, building and anti-earthquake and ecological buildings and so on. Is a 65% of tax incentives. That is, of course, very huge, and it's something of extraordinary for this very period for helping a field which was one of the worst in the crisis, of course, and some first results are coming. Of course, all these three important initiatives we took in these 4 months are important to boost growth and to boost recovery. Our figures are saying that next year we will have 1.0 growth. The European Commission says 0.7 growth. We hope to reach our goals and our targets, and we will work to arrive at least to have 1 year of complete growth after years and years of difficulties. Of course, to do that, it's necessary, it's absolutely necessary to continue on the path of fiscal consolidation, and I will confirm the engagements on the 3%, on the engagements with Brussels and Frankfurt, of course. But first of all, our main crucial point is how to push growth and how to have stability, political stability and stability in the markets. Because of course, with the debt we have, what is crucial is to have low interest rates. That is life or death. And of course, we were close to death some years ago when interest rates raised until 7%, 8%. Today we are around 4.5%, and we would like to arrive, of course, next year to reach 2%. That is the heaven. Why the heaven? Of course, because of the sustainability of the debt and because of the push for investments. This is why I am trying to push for stability, political stability, first of all. That is crucial in a country which is not used to be very stable. We like fight in Italy since centuries, and but we have to convince people that peace is better, and peace is the possibility to have growth, to have jobs, to have investments, and so on. This is why we presented, and thank you for this great opportunity, Duncan. We presented this plan. The name of the plan is Destinazione Italia. I think it's without translation, but I think it's very comprehensible. Destinazione Italia means we would like to attract foreign direct investments because we have a lack of foreign direct investment for many reasons. I don't want here to examine it and to have analysis about why, but I'm here just to say we have to overcome the problem. We have to work and we have to solve these problems, and this plan, 50 actions, very concrete actions, you'll find in the paper you are reading, and in the slides you are reading a lot of very concrete actions. The plan, of course, is a plan to explain, first of all, how to invest in Italy, because Italy is a country with a lot of important assets. We are not very, very good in presenting ourselves, in explaining ourselves, in explaining how our assets are so important. But Italy, you know very well, is the 5th manufacturing economy in the world and the 2nd manufacturing economy inside the European Union. We have a strong entrepreneurial culture is around 4 million Italians working as entrepreneurs, strong exports. Of course, a strong presence in our growth sectors. I don't want to quote, but I think you know very well. We are in a period of stable and fair relations with the social partners. That is very important for presenting a very stable and calm situation. I would say also we are the first worldwide for UNESCO World Heritage Sites. That is not a secondary asset. What we want to present, of course, a 50 action and 50 initiatives planned to present the country and to say really the country is ready to offer opportunities for investors. First of all, a 5 years preemptive tax agreements with the Italian Revenue Agency for the foreign direct investments. That is very important to create trust and stable rules. That is, I know very well, one of the fears for the foreign direct investments to Italy, the instability of the rules. A fast track for authorization through a dedicated tutoring agency. That is another important initiative we are taking. The third one is the cut of the labor market costs and to cut on red tape. Is the other one, the second one, red tape, is one of the worst assets of the country, and this is why we are working for trying to cut this red tape. And of course, the cut of the labor taxes is the other main important achievement we would like to have. I quote also the civil justice reform as one of the main achievements we are trying to to reach. Specific courts dedicated to foreign companies. That is another important initiative we are taking. Of course, the big chapter of this plan is a privatization plan that we are preparing. Important privatization plan because today the markets are, of course, ready to welcome, I think, good privatization processes. We will prepare in the next weeks this plan, and of course we will be ready to discuss with all of you about the possibilities and the opportunities of this plan. Of course, there are many other important topics in this plan, but I want to stop immediately, maybe to have the opportunity to answer some questions. SMEs are the most important asset of our country. This is why we worked in these 4 months to help SMEs for raising capitals and for having high skills and, of course, for being more in the international markets at global level. That is one, of course, of the problems. The other main achievement is to open Italy to the world. Italy is a very open country, but we would like to attract also human capitals. I would say easier procedures for visas for investors, for students, for professors. That is very important for avoiding all the red tape problems we had and we have and we continue to have in the past. When? Of course, as soon as possible. For some of these actions, I would say is already done. For other is a work in progress, and I will be, of course, very happy to come again here, maybe next year, in this crazy week of the UN in New York. That is, the word here is a sort of Christmas week. To tell you something about the new Italy we are trying to raise. I think it's important for Italy, it's important for Europe, but I think it's important for the world too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. We have a few minutes, and the Prime Minister has graciously agreed to take a few questions. So if there are any questions that people in the audience would like to ask, it's a pretty unique opportunity. And we haven't pre-staged any questions, so you can ask the Prime Minister anything you would like to, and if he can't answer it, I will. How's that? Okay? Deal. You got it? Good, thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for an excellent presentation. A very simple question, which is this. I was raised in Italy. I enjoyed it immensely. Italy has a fantastic entrepreneurial class, which has done great things. I was in Udine last year, and they said to me, look, our problem is not product. We have excellent products. Our problem is bank credits. The banks are not lending. bank lending in Italy is contracting. So I'm just referring back to the question about the interest rates. What is the point right now that we are, as a country, 10-year bond is trading below 5% yield if the banks are not lending to the companies? How is the government going to solve this problem? I think it's really critical.
Yes, it's one of the crucial problems of the country. We linked, first of all, to the SMEs, of course, because the dimension is very important at that stage. I will say the main problem is not a problem linked to the situation, the bank situation. It's a problem linked to the weight, to the influence, to the, yes, the problem of the state bonds for the Italian banks. Italian banks are full of state bonds. This is why the problem is the political stability, the interest rates, and how to sustain the debt. Because all is linked, and this linkage between having a sustainable debt, being able to have a debt with not such a spread with the German Bund and the rest of the world is so important also for credit and also for the Italian banks, because the Italian banks are full of state bonds, and state bonds are one of the crucial point of the how to say and how to be trustable or not. This is why we continue to push, and I continue to ask for stability. Stability is the only way to cut interest rates. And I will say all our hope is linked to having low interest rates, to have more credit for SMEs. We had, and you will find in the papers, in the slides also, some initiatives we took for helping SMEs in the credit, tax incentives for machineries and other important initiatives for SMEs. This is already done, is okay. But of course, you raised the point, and I would say your point is really linked to stability and to the political and financial stability of the country.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Quick question. You were referring to low interest rates as the way to bring down debt. Now, there's also another way, and it has to do with the primary surplus. You showed a chart that had a primary surplus of about 2.5% of GDP. A few quarters ago, that would have been on the order of 4% of GDP, roughly, in the similar chart. Now, can you give us an outlook as to where you want to go with the primary surplus, how much effort you're going to put into that part of bringing down the public debt, please?
Of course, the crucial point is the privatization process will be important to cut the debt, first of all, because the debt is one of the negative assets of the country. The second big issue is to present an important initiative for what I call spending review of the country. That is very important. In the next days, we will appoint a commissioner for spending review in Italy. That will be important to cut public expenditures, and of course that will be a way to arrive, I hope, next year to 3-4% of primary surplus, as you mentioned. Because the only way is to have growth, to have cut in public expenditures, of course, good cut, balanced cuts, and not unbalanced cuts. I will say because one of the initiatives we took in these very days, in these 4 months of government, and I am very proud of it, was a law on boosting culture in Italy. We can't cut on culture in Italy. In other countries, maybe, but not in Italy, because culture is our oil, I would say. So I was really proud of this decision we took, because we can't have a spending review at the same time for other fields and for culture in Italy. So this is why the Commissioner for Spending Review will be one of the assets, and in October he will start his work, and you will see the name in the next days. He will be a very important asset of our work.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much for this intervention. Just one question. Yesterday you said yesterday you said that now Europe has to focus more on growth after the German election. What do you mean for that? Which are the three main things that European Union has to do in that respect, and which would be the role of Italy in promoting this action? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next year will be a very important year for the European Union for many reasons. The first reason is that we will not have German elections, and that is a very important. The second reason, we will have a huge change in the European governance positions. We will change the leader of the Commission, we will change the President of the European Council, we will vote for the European Parliament, of course. We will be at the end of a legislature, 5 years of very difficult European legislature, in a period of course, the deepest crisis we had in Europe, with a big, huge problem of European governance. We needed 30 summits before European summits, 4 years before arriving to the famous Mario Draghi's statement, whatever it takes. But 30 months to arrive, 30 summits to arrive to these decisive statements is too much. So the European governance needs to be deeply reformed. This is my approach. And next year will be a crucial year also because we will change the Commission, we will change the Parliament, we will have the European elections. The European elections will be very important for having a discussion at the European level on Europe, on the future of Europe. I will mention, for instance, how important is for what we think about the future of Europe, the role of the UK, the discussion there about the exit or not from the European Union is something that we care about this problem. It will be a worse Europe without the UK. That is, in my view, a very important statement that I would like to leave you. This is why next year it will be an important year on that, and Italy will chair the rotating semester presidency next year in the second semester, the semester in which we will decide who will be the president of the European Council, and we will start the new legislature. So it will be a crucial year. Italy will host also the summit, the ASEM summit between European leaders, Asian leaders in Milan, 2014, October. This is a way also, I take the opportunity also to say to you how important for us is the rendezvous in Milan 2015 with the Expo. Expo about the food security, feeding the planet, energy for life, would be very important because also the method. We, the Italians, we are very good, of course, but we are better when we have a deadline. And the deadline of Expo 2015 will be, I think, the correct deadline. We will do a wonderful job. Yesterday I was with the Commissioner for Expo, with a lot of important businessmen in New York here for convincing them to invest to Expo. Expo will be for us a very important, crucial rendezvous. And of course, next year will be the year in which applying what we decided at European level in the last European summit, and I raised, first of all, the banking union decisions we took is crucial to avoiding any new crisis at the banking level. We wasted a lot of money on that. And with the Italians, in the period of the crisis, we spent around, in the years of the crisis, around 50 billion euros, 50 billion euros for the European solidarity. That was, of course, something not very easy to do because of the lack of good governance at European level. So this is why governance, changing in policies, I don't mean no austerity. I would say we need fiscal consolidation and we need growth in parallel. There is no contradiction between the two paths.